escape from this love, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
Why are you black? There you go. What's going on, dude? Anyway, folks, what's going on? We are the bald and bearded Tottenham boys. Cody keeps hiding himself. And today's Tuesday. You are watching the bald and bearded Tottenham boys show. My name is Will Stewart. And is Cody Mac ready? Are you ready today? Internet's crapping out. All right, don't worry about it. I'll cover till it pops back in. You look more stable now, though. You're muted, though. That's what you're muted.
Hello.
Hello. But today's Tuesday, and we are doing the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show. Today, we're going to be talking about.
I might have to go out and come back in because I think like the delay is massive. Let me go out and come back in, see what happens.
That'll work, man. Anyway, folks, Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show. A little bit of technical difficulties off the roll, but that's okay. That's how we roll. Now I get to sit right in between the two balding boys. Harry Kane, is he going to City or not? Offers have been made. Official offers have been made. And just bring yourself in whenever you're ready, my friend. And offers have been made. So let's go over a little bit of the news here. So I've made some retweets to kind of jump off the show here. It says that an offer for £100 million has been made to Manchester City for Harry Kane, with the possibility of Laporte, Bernardo Silva, Sterling, Mahrez, and Gabriel Jesus were all named as players that could be included in a move for Harry Kane, says The Athletic. I mean, to be honest with you, if it's $100 million and the chance of getting a few of those players, there's some players in there that I'd take. You know what I mean?
It might be unpopular, but I think I would probably take 100 plus Laporte. If I'm being honest, I would probably take that.
Or I mean, or if we could even get one or two.
I just don't. When the thing is, like, if Kane is set on leaving, okay, what do we really stand to gain? Like, just considering all things considered, like the state that we're in, the fact that we can't even seem to get a manager pinned down at this point, we're getting lapped in the transfer market. What do keeping Kane one more year?
Yep. You kind of froze at a weird moment there. It looked like I had put up a picture of you. But yeah, no, look, and I don't disagree with you, Cody, while you're sitting there as a spinning circle. But you're back. You're back now. Destroyer 681 says, I won't sell Kane for any price. He's carried us in 2021. Yeah, but he's going to go at some point in time, right? And I just look. I think it's criminal to hold him against his will. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, we're not going to win anything next year.
It's true. But I mean, look, if we do end up selling Kane and he does end up going and we ended up not spending all of that money back on the team, I think that's criminal. I think that's a crime against nature. And, I think that Daniel Levy's got a real choice to make. You know what I mean? But Harry Kane. But anyway, before we get too deep into the woods here, let's let people know that the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show is also included on Spotify, Apple iTunes, podcasts, a bunch of different places. It takes a little bit a while for it to get up on the other ones right now, but if you want to find us on Anchor or Spotify, these shows will be uploaded same day to those platforms. So if you want to be able to subscribe to the podcast, the two shows that are live on the podcast are this show here, the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show, as well as Cody Mac's Morning THFC. Those are the two shows that I think fit kind of a podcast style rather than a kind of a mess of bringing people in and on back and forth. But also, too, we've got our Patreon members. What the Patreon members do is they are a special group of folks who have been supporting the channel through the kindness of their own heart, with a little monthly donation, just to help us facilitate the channel. You know, we have costs and expenses, the StreamYard, all the different tools that we use aren't free. And these folks have helped us out with that. If you guys want to join that, if you like the show, if you want to become a part of that, you are welcome to do so. And part of that is reading out their names in thanks for their support. We got Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coach, Celery Agent, AG, Koguma, Tony Go, Alex Burleton, Bob Spur TV. Those are Williams Rangers. We also have memberships now through YouTube. So if you just want a quick and fast, convenient way, and special benefits that you get for becoming a member on YouTube is you get special emojis. So you can get my face or Cody's face or Dr. Levy, some other things like that. You can just click the link that's pinned to the top of the chat there, and that'll help you to join a membership. Multiple different levels there. You do get a discount on our web store where you can find different merchandise, mugs, shirts, masks, all different kinds of stuff with different kind of meme phrases. Just a fun shirt. The quality of the shirt is pretty nice. I enjoy the ones that I have. I wear them all the time. They're very fashionable and fun to wear, and it helps support the channel. So if you guys want to do that, you are welcome to. Look, guys, I mean, I think it's something that's going to end up happening. I think it's going to be something that ends up happening. Any BJ stuff? No, I've been very, very, very busy. I'm actually looking at possibly moving houses here, so I haven't gotten a chance to do that. But I'll try to get that stuff up, the BJ gear, up today, or at least by the end of this week. So be on the look for that. I should have some time, and should be able to get that up and running. Cody Bear, Teacup, Cody. There you go. I'm on YouTube. That should be emojis of Cody in a cup. Should be ones with Dr. Levy as well. But anyway, folks in the chat, Spartan 7 Gaming, and again, been here haven't seen you a long time, mate. Welcome back to the show. He says, I think that if it is me, it has to be just cash for Harry, but only if it's invested back into the squad. Yeah, but I mean, we're talking 100 million pounds. That's, two decent players, or one record signing for the club, and one almost. You know what I mean? And look, he's going to go at some point in time. And so you either don't ever, you don't ever have him come in. You don't ever you don't ever sell him off and get money for him. You have to play him for the rest of his career. I think this is the only opportunity that we have to sell him if we are going to sell him. Brian McGuire says, if Man City want Kane so bad, we should not accept anything less than 200 million. No player swaps involved. I don't think you're going to get 200 million. I don't think it's going to happen. Not going to happen. Like a player like Laporte's probably at least 40 million pounds. So that helps to get rid of one of the center back issues. Adam says, how are things? Well, things are good. Things are good. We need a rebuild, though. 92 Flamethrower. We need a rebuild. And where are we going to get that money from? You know? If you don't sell Kane this year, you don't sell him at all. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. So only got 2 years left on his contract at that point. I think it drops below 100 million next season. If we sell Deadwood and not sell Kane, that would be great. Yeah, but it's a lot harder to move, 6 or 7 crappy players for one good one, right? People want Harry Kane. There's not a lot of clubs that want the Deadwood. You know what I mean? Look, I'm not saying that we should sell Harry Kane. I just think that it is. Why would Laporte? Because if he's not wanted at his own club, why would he stay there? You know what I mean? If they are being included in that sale, right? If Manchester City's told their agents that you can go ahead and find another club, why would they want to stay at City? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. What's up, dude?
Can you see me? Oh man, sorry.
Yeah, you look great. Fine now.
Internet troubles.
What happens when you live in the sticks of Canada?
Well, it's not just that. When you're in cottage country and everybody decides to come up and start using their internet during the day, and we don't have fiber optic here. It's all based on satellites and everything. So and cell towers. So
we have cable internet here. We don't really do satellite internet. Maybe in some very rural areas, but most places have cable because cable TV was a big deal here. When that was around, so they have those infrastructure, and now you have like DSL as well. If you have a phone, you can usually get DSL.
Yeah.
Problem with America is cell towers in the United States, man. There's a lot of places where you'll lose signal.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drive an hour and lose signal 10 times. You know what I mean? So,
So where are we? What were we talking about? Harry Kane?
Yeah, I'm just talking about Harry Kane and like the reality of. But I think that if we're gonna cash in on Harry Kane this year, is going to be the year where you're going to get the most money for it.
Yeah, you won't get more than now. He'll be 29 next year. It's bound. Like this. He's coming off one of his healthiest seasons, really, in the last 5 years. So you can't really bank on that being the case next year either, especially when how much we rely on him. I'm not. Look, it's tough because, of course, Harry Kane is one of my all-time favorite players. I don't necessarily want to be seeing the back of him anytime soon, but yeah, it's just hard to see. It's hard to see what we will benefit from as a club if we're not taking the steps necessary now to be to progress as a club with Harry Kane. Then I can't see, barring a fortunate run in one of the cups, I don't see us winning anything. I'm not even the Conference League. I don't really see it as we should keep Kane to make a run in the Conference League. It's all bad.
Yeah, look, I mean, I totally understand people's desire to want to keep Harry Kane here, right? To stay here forever and do all that stuff too, but if you look at who our owners are, and if you look at the shape that our club is in, I just don't see another way. You know what I mean? I just don't. And I think it's going to end up being like a Christian Eriksen thing, where he comes into the last year of his contract. Right after this year, he'll have 2 years left. For this upcoming season, he'll have 2 seasons left. Right, because you're not going to get what you could have gotten this season for him next season. Daniel Levy's not going to want to sell, right? Because at that point, you can't replace him for the money that you get, or you can't even come close to replacing him from the money that you're going to get. And then he's going to go into the last season of his contract, and he's going to end up wanting to go somewhere, and we're going to get $20 million from him, and it'll be an absolute complete waste. Right? If we would have sold Christian Eriksen 18 months before, we could have easily gotten, I think, especially at that time, 80, 90 million for Christian Eriksen. And we didn't. We held on to him for what reason? Because he ended up going in the end. Right? He's either going to run his contract out and we get nothing, or we sell him now and get something. And I know it's not, it's not something that we want to do, but it's, it's just something that we got to do, I think. And then we got Ganesh. He says, let him go and get Ivan Toney. Yeah, I mean, I like Ivan Toney. I've been screaming for Ivan Toney for a long, long, long time. A lot of people have said it's too much of a risk. Well, so is letting it go. Rumor said that Laporte changed his nationality to Spanish to aim to Spanish clubs, even though Laporte himself said it was a lie. Yeah, I haven't seen that rumor. Well, Eriksen got us to a Champions League final. Yes, selling him earlier would have got. No, Eriksen didn't get us to a Champions League final. Right? Yes, he helped to get us to it, but so did he, no more than anyone else on that team at that time. Christian Eriksen didn't carry us to the Champions League final on his back. And in fact, that was the season that he had. There were several times where in set pieces he couldn't clear a one-man wall. There were a lot of opportunities in that season where things could have gone differently, and Eriksen didn't. We haven't been good. We weren't good with him either. So
not towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I'm just trying to be reasonable here. I'm just trying to be logical. I'm trying to take the emotion out of it. Right? When you make decisions, you got to try and take emotion out of the situation.
I get that. I get this opinion too from Towson. Has Levy left the club, sell Kane money because the money will be spent where? That doesn't mean that hanging on to Harry Kane makes business sense. If you're gonna take that stance, then we're screwed no matter what we do because Levy's here. So, we're just talking hypotheticals here.
I'm just talking about what I think would be the smart decision to do. Right? I'm not saying that Daniel Levy's going to do the right thing with that money after he.
Yeah, I mean, I think if both of us can both of us, if we had our way, we would invest around Harry Kane and try and win the Premier League.
100%.
Obviously,
100%.
But that's
the thing is that that's not going to happen. And if we're going to be going through a rebuild, and if we're going to be, that money could be spread around, and help to strengthen the team so that we don't end up slipping into a mid-table club. I mean, the fact of the matter is we have too much garbage in the squad. right? With Harry Kane or without Harry Kane. Even with Harry Kane next season, there's a chance that we finish 8th, 9th, 10th next season. The way things are going now. And if selling Harry Kane means that we can hold on for a couple more years until Dane Scarlett and some of those youth guys are old enough to really come in and start making an impact, I just think you're not being, it's being emotional. No, I don't think it is better because I think you can finish higher in the table if you've.
This is possible, right? But the thing is, would we not just be delaying the inevitable?
Yeah, and then you're getting nothing from Harry Kane when he goes. So,
which yeah, just it might cause more problems. Yeah.
If Harry Kane runs his contract out and goes somewhere else at the age of 30, 31, right? Which is not incredibly old. If he manages to keep his body fit and he goes somewhere else at 31 and we get nothing for him, right? Then we don't have any tools at all. We don't have any tools at all to rebuild the squad. And that's why I think that a player swap added into that. Like if City is willing to let those named players go, especially if Gareth Bale, who's made it very clear now, right? From what I've heard, is that he's not coming back next season. Right? He's going back to Real Madrid. That's the consensus that we've got going on here. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from preseason. We haven't heard anything about Gareth Bale coming back, right? So Amara is Laporte plus 100 mil all day. All day. I mean, we need a right winger really bad. We don't have a right winger at all. We need center backs really bad. We don't have center backs at all.
I had somebody try and tell me today on Twitter that it was Poch's fault that we didn't get anybody for 500 days.
We've been going through rebuilds.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. It's Daniel Levy's fault. I don't know who would say that it was Pochettino's fault. I mean, unless Daniel Levy wanted to sign ridiculous players that didn't fit his system, and he said no. I don't think that Pochettino would have said no to any player. I don't want anyone. It's not what he's saying. He's probably was just turning down the options that Daniel Levy was throwing his way, right? Because Daniel Levy does like to make signings that don't make sense to the system of the person that we're playing in. But look. Yeah, I mean, look, there's kudos. I don't disagree with you. Leon Bailey would be a great choice, but I take Mahrez. I mean, do you guys not think that Mahrez is a class player? I mean, he had a pretty good season for City this year. He's not super old, is he? Let's look out. Sofa score. Mahrez. God, Mahrez. 30. Valued at about 43 million. Maybe not that enticing, really, to be honest with you. But better than anything we've got there on the right. Caleb says, what about 100 million? Yeah, Bernardo Silva even. Bernardo Silva, he's younger. I would take Silva as well. Bernardo Silva, 26, good age. Plays, can play right wing or midfield, right side midfield. He didn't have any goals this summer in the European Championship. Let's go to the Premier League. Only 2 goals, 6 assists. It's not horrible. But he also didn't get a lot of playing time as well. I mean, but they wouldn't be City players anymore then, though. You know, they'd be Spurs players then, right? People get moved on all the time. Just because you're moving to a lower club doesn't mean you want to do anything. Look, like I said before, it's a matter of whether he wants to be wanted or not. You know what I mean? And Cody, if you want to try just audio only, that may help your issue there with your internet. And then it's all good, man. If you can just try audio only, it may help your deal. We got Joseph K. Says I don't know why people saying cash only. That's what Levy wants, at least. Exactly. Look, that's my point too. If it's cash only, then it's just all going to go in Daniel's pocket. But if it's players, you know, then we get something that Daniel Levy can't stick in his pocket. I mean, he can try to stick Bernardo Silva in his pocket, I guess. Barca Atletico. Yeah, that's I don't doubt that he could try and do that, but why would he not want to come to Spurs? I just don't understand the mentality that we're so down on ourselves that it's like nobody's gonna want to come play for us. You know what I mean? So then what's the point of even getting any... Why sell any players then? Because nobody wants to come play. Why would anyone want to come play for us then? It's kind of silly. You know what I mean? Laporte and Silva, 90 million. Yeah, I mean, why not try to get Laporte and Silva for 100? You know what I'm saying? If 100 is all the cash that they have, and they're willing to offer other players, is what the thing said in the tweet. So it doesn't necessarily mean just one.
Okay, so let's assume for a second that what has been said in the media about Daniel Levy basically thinking that Harry Kane is the crown jewel and that he's not going to lower his price and that he wants to hold on to him at all costs is true. I would put down a deal. The thing is, if what's been reported as their opening bid of 85 to 100 million pounds plus players, I would come back and I would ask for cash plus Phil Foden. One crown jewel for another, man.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're going to get cash plus, because I think Phil Foden's rated at like dang near close to that itself.
I'm just saying, if Daniel Levy wants to negotiate and hardball, why not? I mean, I'm sure there's lots of things being sent back and forth at this point. I don't know.
Because I mean, you got Phil Foden right now, who's valued at 76 million euros ish, and that's just your sofa score transfer market price. Kane, who's at 130 million, so you're looking at about a 50 million difference there. Harry Kane's 27 until the end of July. So he's effectively 28. I mean, granted, Harry Kane has far more goals than Phil Foden does, but I think that you might be able to get Foden plus 30 mil. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd
Maybe
think about
50
that.
if you're lucky.
I'd think about it.
I mean, what I would take like a Foden Laporte straight swap. You know what I mean? What is Laporte's value anyway?
It's like 40, 45.
Aymeric, right?
Yeah, it's gone down a bit since he didn't really have a strong season for them. You know, he kind of was on the outside looking in with Diaz and Stones. As far as like players, I've read rumors that Laporte might want out of Manchester City after they went after Diaz, and he kind of became the odd man out. So maybe he's crazy enough to come to Tottenham, but he's also like he's good enough of a player that he should be playing for a squad that's in the Champions League. Really.
Well, I mean, if we could shore up the defense, we can really be that team, right? And I mean, he's only 27, so for a defender, it's not that old. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. It's just, you know. Yeah.
And defensive wise, you know, he's a good, you know, he's Spanish, so he's going to be, you know, good with the ball at his feet. I mean, there are some times he's not, you know, 100% reliable either. There's times when he's, you know, made some mistakes. That's why they went in for Diaz in the first place, right? That they needed somebody who's a little bit more reliable. But
oh man, I just can't believe these are the conversations we have to have, man.
But Toby and Laporte. Thomas says he's off to watch Scotland. It doesn't start till 3, doesn't it? An hour prep time there, Thomas? Or you got to go drive somewhere to watch the match or something?
Got to get loose.
He's a more realistic target.
Yeah, the thing is, like, we have the negotiating power here because we don't have to move him. As long as you're in a position where you don't think Harry Kane is going to like really force his way out. We really don't know exactly what's going on between him and Levy right now. Obviously, it's not good, but I mean, has he handed in a transfer request?
Who?
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Officially.
I would assume so. If not, what was all the video nonsense about? Right? Like, why? What's all the news? Right? I don't think it's not official. I think it's official that he said that he wants to leave. I think the proposed meeting that he had with Daniel Levy happened before the videos were released. I think the videos were released after, recorded before the meeting was held and released after the meeting was held in order to really push Daniel's hand. Right? If I was an agent and I was trying to get a move, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. But Thomas Smith says it makes sense to sell Kane now unless Levy will invest huge money and keep him. But that's what I'm saying. Daniel Levy is not going to invest huge money if we keep him. I think we'll be lucky to sign 1 or 2 players. And the players that we do sign aren't even going to be that great. Right. Best case scenario is we keep Kane, we keep Son, you know, and we invest around those 2 people to build up the squad that we have. Do you have evidence of that? Right? You can't just say something without having evidence of it. We have video evidence saying that he's going to turn into a transfer request. He's asking for a move. So unless you have evidence that he hasn't,
Usually, usually when players hand in official transfer requests, it
audio's
because
cutting
it
out.
becomes public knowledge.
Hasn't it become public knowledge?
But
I think that if your audio's cutting in and out now too a little bit. 'Cause I didn't really hear what you said, but basically what I heard you said that. Go ahead.
video
try it again.
evidence.
Huh? Harry Kane's own words saying he wants to leave Tottenham. Right. But what did Mr. K say something? They say Jesus, Laporte, and someone else. And look, I don't really want. I mean, Jesus, that's fine. I don't really want that, but I'm saying we don't know that, right? You don't. I don't think you know that. You can't say he hasn't. That is asserting that he has not done it. Kane hasn't come out saying it, and all those reports of speculation. No, I watched it with my own eyes. I listened to it with my own ears from his own mouth. Yeah. I think that if Harry Kane comes out and says in a video that he wants to leave, that means he wants to leave, that he wants to sit down and talk to the chairman, that he sat down and talked with the chairman. If you had not, if they're trying, look, if you're trying to get the best price for people or buy people in the transfer window, you don't want to let people know that you're going to get a huge amount of money. Yeah. Yes, from that video he did on the golf pitch. We got Gene says some of our rumors from our side. I'm guessing you're maybe a City fan or something like that. Is that he's house hunting in the Northeast a couple months back. He hasn't said anything officially because it's not going to work that way. But yeah. Let's put it this way: with all the rumors that are coming around, if he didn't want to go, he would say, "I'm staying," and he hasn't said that either. Right? So all of these people that say he doesn't want to leave or that he hasn't put it in a transfer or Harry Kane's not going, I don't think that that's true. I think Kane wants to leave. I think it's a little bit delusional to assume that Harry Kane does not want to leave Tottenham Hotspur right now. Right? I think his agents are pushing for a move right now. Guarantee it. I think it's fairly obvious. You know what I mean? And look, man, I'm not saying it wants to do, but I don't think you can show me any evidence that yeah, Aaron, I don't know if it's necessarily something that you would make public. It's not smart to make it public until you're actually putting things in. Right, but we can't look, in order to be rational and logical here, you cannot just make assertions without any evidence, right? All of the evidence that we do have is that Kane wants to leave. He said so with his own mouth. You know what I mean? So until he comes out and says, I'm not leaving Tottenham Hotspur, right? Kane is requested a transfer. He will lose his 10% of the transfer fee, and that would be stupid. Well, I mean, he may not have put in an official request, and if this is true, right? I'm saying if what you're saying then is true, pushing for a transfer and asking for a transfer, what's the difference? What's the difference? Could be. Unless nobody knows other than him and Daniel. You know what I mean? The whole video. You can say things without actually saying them, right? You can say things without actually saying it. Right? How would we as fans say, if he doesn't get a move this summer and he came out publicly and said, I don't want to play for Tottenham Hotspur anymore, even though that's his desire, how would the fans feel about that? How would his season go? How would the next manager feel playing him week in, week out? Right? Look, you guys have to understand that there's a way to say I want something without actually saying the words that covers your backside for in case the situation doesn't work out. Right? He doesn't do that interview on the golf course if he didn't want to leave. If Harry Kane had no intention of leaving Tottenham Hotspur, he doesn't do that interview. He doesn't. He doesn't talk the way that he talked. His agents don't make the comments they're making now. Right? Harry Kane's agent, Harry Kane's brother, has said they're looking at their options this summer. What does that mean? It means he wants to leave. Yeah. It would be crap. I'm telling you, right? This is not me making stuff up, right? All of the signs are showing that that's what he wants to do. You know what I mean? And I think you just gotta go with it. You just gotta embrace it. You gotta come to realization. It means he wants to go elsewhere. Exactly right. And doesn't matter what he wants. So you're gonna force a guy to stay there? Bring Cody in here, and then our special guest, because the requirement to come on this show is you must be bald and bearded, both. And we have a bald and bearded friend to join us today. Yeah, let me get that out of your face there, Bomb.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, for the last 10 minutes, mate, I've been trying to sort this shit out. I've actually invested in something, but I've not been able to do it. So
we'll work it out. I'll help you figure it out.
After the stream, you're gonna have to help me.
I'll help you figure that out. Cody, if you can still try to get, I mean, if you're just going to give up based on your internet connection, that's fine too. But if you want to keep trying to come in, please do so. It's okay.
He's having some issues, isn't he, Cody boy?
Yeah, he is.
Pay the bill, mate. Pay the bill.
So Paul says, LO agents make money on moves. Player up their worth value upon speculation. Eat, sleep, repeat. I don't think you do. I think you cause more problems. Look, if you're happy where you're at, you're not going to just rise speculation that you're going somewhere else. That doesn't help morale in the dressing room. That doesn't help. You don't sit there in the locker room and be like, "Hey, mates, hey lads, today I'm going to go out and say that I'm going to leave so that I can up my value." But I'm not really going to leave. Don't worry. This is just all a game. I think that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I mean, like, what are your thoughts on it? Do you think Harry Kane wants to leave?
Yeah.
Or do you think he doesn't?
I think he wants to leave, and every right, he's got every right to think so. You know, I want to, but I'm not ashamed to admit I've totally gone the other way now. Whereas before I was like, you know what, he's a legend, club legend, let him go. We can't hold him to ransom. He deserves more. He deserves better. Nah. We need him. We need him, and unfortunately for him, it's up to us. He can say he wants to leave as much as possible. The simple fact is, obviously, we know Levy's head can get turned, but the end decision lies with us. And if we don't want him to go, he won't. And he's not the sort of person who will down tools. He won't do, you know. What
I mean, normally though, right? Normally, like
Yeah.
I'm the type of person too that even if I'm not happy, I'm going to do my best.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you push me far enough, I'm not going to give 100%. I'll do what I have to get by.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
I
those
agree with that.
those goals could drop down to the dropping back, the running back, the falling back to play deep. You know, he's a striker. He could start to get a little bit lazy on the pitch where all he does is sit up and just play the number 9 spot. He doesn't drop into that number 10 role. Right? You know what I'm saying? He's not pushing
Yeah.
himself 100% because if you're not happy in a place, you're not giving 100%. You may try to give 100%, but if your heart's not in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I think he's got a bit more personal pride, Will, and the fact he does love Spurs regardless. You know, he's probably hurt by the ongoings more than just as much as everyone else. I just think he's too big. He is irreplaceable for me, and selling him is not just a small backward step; it's a massive one, mate. It will destroy the season before it's even started, in my opinion. Unless we get the likes of an Mbappe and Haaland in. I think yesterday Henry Wright was saying, you know, would you take 100 million plus Laporte? No, Laporte ain't going to come in and replace the problems losing Harry Kane will provide. And I'll be honest, I prefer Anderson over Laporte. Younger, a bit more about him, left-footed. I prefer an Anderson. Laporte. There's a reason why Laporte is not getting into the side. There's a reason why Stones, who's got a mistake in him, is ahead of him. And so, great as great a player Laporte is, I wouldn't sacrifice Harry Kane because Laporte is part of the deal. It's no, for me, he's irreplaceable. He's given us one more season, allegedly, and this season was that one more season. I think we just need him to desperately. Well, it's going to be a really hard season as it is, unless something happens between now and the start of the season. I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go. And you know, if you come with 150 million. You can piss off as far as I'm concerned, but I know I'm not living in the real world.
Yeah, I'm just to the point where right now I don't see any other way that we rebuild our squad. And even with Harry Kane, I think we are in dire straits of finishing 10th next year. And I mean, like I said, perfect world is you go out, you spend 100 million pounds this year in the window, you get 2 center backs and a midfielder that can help pull things forward, or even 150 million pounds, and then we're right back in the mix. You know, I mean, we may not be challenging for the league, but we're back there challenging, you know, Manchester United or in Liverpool for a top, and in Chelsea for a top 4 spot. But that's not going to happen.
No, it's
and the only way I see us staying in the top 6 is 2 new center backs, a right winger, and a midfielder. Yeah. And the only way that we get cash to do that is by selling Harry Kane.
But you got the Levy factor again. We're assuming we're selling for 150. We'll get 150 to spend. You know full well that's not happening. It's not going to be a Coutinho where Coutinho gets sold and Liverpool provide basically 100% of the transfer fee to the manager plus whatever they want to contribute. It's not going to happen. It might happen, but the way I look at it, and the confidence that Levy has totally erased, and Enoch, of course. To me, if we sold him for 150 million, I probably think we'd invest about 30 million, 40 million into the team. I
So
honestly
do you
believe
think
that.
do you think with Paratici coming in, he's going to let that happen?
Well, it's not up to Paratici. I'll put money on him going before the 1st of July, mate, if I'm honest with you. I honestly think the whispers that are coming out already, who, first of all, going for Gattuso, was that Levy, was it Paratici? Who gives a shit? It was a combined decision. It was a one person. If it was Levy's, what the hell was Paratici doing? If it was Paratici, then what was Levy doing? Fonseca was all on board. Ali Gold said he was all on board. Had a meeting with Levy, and everything seemed absolutely perfect. Then he had a meeting with Paramatici, and it was a different vibe, and Fonseca had a feeling that okay, something's not right here, and lo and behold, it's gone by the wayside. There's thing from the different sheet already, hymn sheet already. There's a difference of we want identity. We want an identity. We want a plan. It's never going to work when two people at the helm have different ideas right from the off. And there's whispers coming out. I would put money on Paratici leaving before the 1st of July, when he's officially announced, because I think he's seen it, and it's not like there's not a pattern for me.
Yeah, I just think that I just don't want to see it go a route of Christian Eriksen again. I don't want to see Harry Kane leaving in 3 full seasons. So the next season and the next 2 seasons, and then leave on a free.
See what?
Because then we're worse.
Yeah, it would be. It would be, but then do you take into consideration we've got more chances of silverware and progression and success with Kane? That revenue, I mean, a couple of seasons in the Champions League will bring us the same revenue that a Harry Kane transfer fee will right now. If it'll double it, actually. Do you take that
how do we get in the
consideration?
Champions League with the players we have?
Well, that's it. At least with Harry Kane, there's a chance of us building something around it. Whereas we'd have to invest, obviously.
Yeah, but we're not going to invest. That's what I'm saying. We have to sell to buy. So if we have to sell to buy, if we're a self-sustaining club, right? We're a self-sustaining club. So that means that all the money that goes into the team has to come from the team.
But then you look at the players, the deadwoods. Personally, if we sold the right people, we could bring in there on 100 million, as it is. With the likes of Dyer, Sanchez, who is very unlikely will sell all of them, but Dyer, Sanchez, Lamela, Lucas, Dele Alli, these potentially 5 players, and then you've got obviously the likes of Winks and Sissoko. 7 players. We could generate a good 100 million. We've got young players coming through. Put in another few million on top of that. Sabitzer was going, we'll bring Sabitzer in 15 million. He ain't going to come in for 15 million. If there's a clause for 15 million, we go in for 15 million. The likes of Liverpool will go in for 22. Then Man United will go in for 25. That's pittance for them. We ain't going to go. So we have to invest right. Anderson, bloody hell, we've been talking about it for God knows how long. He wants to sign. There's a few players in the Euros that have come to the fore that I think would be great signing. Lafferty, is it Lafferty from Brighton? Right back, he'd be great, and he'd be cheap as well. Lamperty, I can't remember, bloody hell, my mind's all over. But if we invest right, and that's where Paratici will come to the fore if he hangs around. We need to do it. We need to be clever. And I just think with Harry Kane being sold, it's 10 steps back, and I really mean that. We were going to lose a lot of creativity. We're going to lose 60% of our, if not more, of our goals, and it's just too big a void to fill. It's too big a void to fill. I can't expect Sonny to fill that position. The Scarlet's still young, and he shouldn't be drafted in. Danny Ings is an option, but I just think it's too big a void to fill. And if we invest right and we get the right person in at the helm, this is all hypothetical. It's very unlikely. But if we invest right, we get the right manager in, get the right players around, like Harry Kane, Højbjerg, who's been awesome in the Euros. We'll get the right defence in. Hope one of the top teams have another poor season, off season. Why not? Why not? You know, we're Spurs fans. We're delusional, as well as disillusioned. Why not go for that Champions League spot if we do everything right? And there's more chance of doing that with Harry Kane in the team than not. I just think we need to start pushing players out. We need to start selling them, even if it is a cut price deal. A collective exit of players will get us funds. I mean, Dele Alli, he's probably worth the most at a club. He should be first one out the door. Sell the most expensive player first. I've said this before. Build up that budget, and hope Levy put in 20-30 million, and then let's get the right players in. Let's push for it, because like I say, two seasons in the Champions League will bring us more money than what a Harry Kane transfer fee would right now.
See, here, this is the problem I think that we're going to face, is that a lot of the deadwood aren't going to want to leave.
That's the point, yeah.
And that they'll push to stay because A1, they're playing either for a team that has more prestige, or two, they're going to be on better wages because they've gone down such a far step that nobody's going to want to pay them what they're on now. So why would they're just going to pull Danny Rose and run their contracts down?
Yeah, and they become comfortable, aren't they, Will?
Yeah, I mean they're just going to come and steal a wage and ride the club down to the bottom of the table. And why would they not?
Yeah, I mean Sissoko's comfortable earning 80k plus a week in that team. Who's going to offer him 80k, mate? Who's going to offer him 80k? Who's going to, you think twice before offering half of that? And I mean that. You know, he's a 45, 50k player a week, and I can't believe I'm even saying that. Some of his performances. You're right. You're spot on. But then that's the whole reason Paratici has been brought in. He should be instigating it. He should be, but then.
But he's not a miracle. He's not Harry Potter, exactly. Right? We are talking about Eric Dyer, Harry Winks, Moussa Sissoko, Davidson Sanchez. You know what I mean? These aren't players. Ben Davies. These aren't players that you can just go to. I mean, they're already deluded, right? They already have delusions of grandeur for themselves. Right, Harry Winks believes he should be, a starter for the England, national team.
Well, what's your thoughts on? And I hate saying this, and you know what I'm going to say. I've said it on a couple of. What's your thoughts if Harry Kane was to go? And I'll be honest, of course, it looks like he's going to go. For that restart button to be pressed, it possibly means us being. Relegation's probably hard, but finishing bottom half, 12th, 14th, mediocrity for a season and a half. Are you willing to accept that if it meant a restart and possibly Enoch out, Levy out, considering Levy and Enoch considering going out because of lack of funds, and certainly NFL won't want to be associated with a team who are constantly struggling or have been struggling or are struggling in the Premier League in my eyes, or do NFL don't really give two shits what Spurs are doing? Or would you take 2 seasons of mediocrity and poor performances in the league and are struggling?
Yeah. I missed the last half of your question here because of this one here.
Got a bit, I feel. You spent the last half an hour saying City players would want to transfer who they are. Seems like Spurs unwanted players.
No, that's what I'm saying. They do want.
Yeah. You got that the other way around, Phil. Sorry, mate.
The unwanted Spurs players would want to stay because they don't want to go to the likes of Everton or Watford or or Villa or, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, right? The reason why it's going to be hard to move the Deadwood on is because they are on a wage here and playing for a team at a level here that they feel. The whole reason why Danny Rose didn't want to go to anywhere other than Atletico Madrid was because he felt that he deserved more, right? That he should be playing at a better club. And to him, going to Newcastle on an actual move was a step down. And why would he go somewhere else and make less wages when he could just sit there and work with the U23s and run his contract out? That's what I'm saying that the problem is, right? That's why I think moving these Deadwood on is a harder deal than what people say. And with Paratici, you know, he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be able to get Harry Winks, Harry Tiddlywinks, a job at other places. That's what I'm saying. That a Champions League club has to come in for them, though, right? If we give them the same wages. If we're not paying the transfer fee on them, it's almost like getting them on a free. If we're getting cash plus players, it's almost like signing those players on a free, right? Therefore, we can offer them higher wages. We can afford 150, 200 million pounds or 200,000 pounds a week if we're not paying 40 million pounds for them, right? That money's being rolled into their salary for 2-3 years or whatever the contract is. That's why.
I mean, he has got a point though with regards to City players. Spurs obviously are a step down, wanted or not wanted. I mean, you know, someone was suggesting Sterling. I think it was Stell actually. Stell mentioned, you know, if they chucked in Sterling as well. You know, as much as an overrated player I do think Sterling is, he would see Spurs as a massive step down. He would.
I don't think it's massive. It's a step down, yes. But is it a massive one? It's not. Like, regardless of how dire things have been recently, you know, before that, we finished above Liverpool for 6 years in a row. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, we are a team that has the potential to be a top 4 side, right? There is the potential is there, right? The size, the scale of the club is there. There's a big difference between playing for Tottenham Hotspur and playing for Watford.
Yeah.
Right. There's a big difference, right? It's a London-based club. You know, there's a big difference between playing for Tottenham and Fulham, right? Yeah. We are still a scale-wise. I mean, we're talking about a club that brings in almost £500 million a year, right? So
yeah.
It's not like we are that. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, it's a step down because they're not going to be winning trophies year in and year out. But if City doesn't want you, right? If Manchester City has said we're moving you on, you are free to find a new club. And Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid, City, Bayern Munich, or not City, Chelsea, Man United, and those guys aren't in for you. If they're not coming, because I don't see any of those clubs going in for Raheem Sterling, right? How many of those sides does Raheem Sterling get into and start?
I think probably the only one is Atletico Madrid, and then obviously you're looking at. I think Atletico Madrid have got or Inter Milan. You know, they've got a history of bringing.
Inter Milan's got to come out a net positive 80 plus, right? Atletico Madrid, that's maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, but then you've got us.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, and I don't see Spurs as yes, it's a step backwards, but it's a step backwards to where now you're going to get regular playing time. Look, you also have this issue at City, especially with someone like Mahrez or Bernardo Silva. they only play about 50% of the time at City because of the rotation that Pep Guardiola does. Whereas if they were to come here, they're going to get to play in, week out.
50% guaranteed trophies, or a season of 50 plus appearances, but transition. I just think this current shit show doesn't really make us look good in anybody's eyes, be it coach, be it players, be it anyone, and I'm disappointed by it, and I've lost all heart in the current state of the club, and I just think there's for a player to go to a new club, it'd have to look at, right, what's my chance of winning? Of course he's going to look at that. How stable is it? How stable is the environment? Who's the coach? What are my fellow players going to be like? And we're not definitive about any of those, mate, right now. Who knows what's going to happen but would you want to go and play for a Ryan Mason in a club that's still unsure about the direction they're going in? Conte would have brought that to us. Conte would have, players would have wanted to come to Spurs and play under this winner, because he guarantees trophies. And if he came in, you would have known what the board's ambition is, because they would have had to back him. Otherwise, 3 months down the line, they would have told him to F off.
Cody's coming in with some stats here. I mean, Son will be on 200 plus K if he signs that contract, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. But 120, and Jesus is on 90. So I mean, that's not too expensive for Tottenham.
No, there's only 10K more than Sissoko. Imagine that.
Yeah,
if not less.
I think Harry Winks is on the same is on 90K a week, right? So
93, yeah.
So I mean, I think Jesus is a far better player for. I'd rather see Jesus on the pitch than Harry Winks. Yeah. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, Jesus and Kane up front, mate. I'm still holding on to it. I know it's very unlikely, and I know by not selling him our transfer budget declines by 60%. But I just think I don't know. If we sell Kane, Paratici's got a lot of eyes on him to see how he performs, and he did good at Juventus. But mate, there's a big difference between getting a player in for Juventus and what it is for Spurs with everything we've got going on at this time of moment. There's so much negativity around the club. He'd have to sell the club like Hitchin did, and I've got a lot of time for Hitchin. I'll never slag him off. I think he's been treated like a twat, and the only thing he's done wrong is not left. He should have told Levy to fuck off a while back and left. I think he's been treated horribly. Yes, the whole "I hate January" comment is obviously, it will always be attached to him. I just think he's been let down. He's managed to bring players through the door, sat them down in the office, handed them a pen and said, right, sign on dotted line. I've done my bit, Levy. And Levy's failed at every opportunity over and over again. Because it wasn't just rumours. These were players who were ready to come in. Grealish was ready to come in. Dybala were ready to come in. Skriniar was ready to come in. And a number of players who we can mention. So, let's see what Paratici does.
I mean, Cody's kind of with another one here. He's like, for people who think it would be a wage issue, we would only be paying 40K more a week to pay Laporte and Mahrez, plus the amount of cash that we've got, plus the fact that we're not having to pay for them a transfer out for them, right? So we're basically signing those players on a free if it's a cash plus deal, right? So we're not having, all we have to do is work out personal terms. I'm sure they're going to probably a wage increase, so it'd probably end up being a little bit more than that 40K, right? But you're doubling the player, right?
Yeah.
You're getting two players for one. Yeah. You're not getting the goals on the field, obviously.
Yeah, I know. I just think as well, I've never seen Man City sell to a rival. I know we're not a direct rival, but I can't remember since the Sheikh's come in them selling a player to any of the top six, not even to an Everton. Oh, maybe I'm wrong with Everton. You know, they're not. But I can't remember them selling to one of their rivals. And I think we have to be realistic. Which player I would take in, and probably the realistic out of everyone is Kyle Walker. I'd actually take him in. I'd actually bring him back, and he'd probably come back as well.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a shout, but I mean, would he want to come back? It's possible. Is he an academy? Is he an academy product, or did we buy him in?
No, we bought him from Sheffield. We bought him from Sheffield
Yeah.
United. Yeah,
I don't know. Yes, I'm not sure if he'd necessarily want to come back to London. It's Phil. He's like, it's not the wages. It's supporting to join Spurs rather than waivers. But what other? There's no other Champions League club that would want to go in for him, right? Unless you're talking about a small club from another country, like in the Eredivisie or the Ajax or so. There's not Dortmund's not gonna go in for him because Dortmund only doesn't buy older players, right? Bayern Munich doesn't need them. They have younger, better players in those positions. United doesn't need them. Chelsea doesn't need them. Real Madrid maybe, but they're broke. Barcelona maybe, but they're broke. Juventus,
Atlanta,
maybe.
I think what Phil's saying there'd have to be.
What would you rather come to, Tottenham or Atalanta?
Well, if they're in the I think what Phil's saying there'd have to be a hell of a lot of teams not to be interested in them, Champions League wise. But you're right. We just don't know. We just don't know. And like I say, I've never seen City sell to a direct potential rival. Honestly, I'm trying. And if anyone in the comments can think of anyone who Man City might have sold. So I know Chelsea sold Willian to Arsenal, but they're not really a rival. I can't think. Man City, since the Sheikhs are coming, have sold a player.
They haven't had to do a rebuild yet, though.
No.
That's what I'm saying. And this is the time that they have to, right? Because the other players that have gone out were all older players who were there before, they started winning their titles, stuff like that.
Some would say Aguero to Barcelona is probably. Where did he go? He went to Barcelona, didn't he? Did he go to Barcelona? Yeah, or wherever he's gone. Yes, that could be. I don't know, mate. Like I say, I think I started a new football manager, and at the beginning of the season, I would like to bring in 2 or 3 players who I think are achievable. Sabitzer, although I don't think I'll put him in my team. I did put Danny Ings, sorry, Will, in there as well. And I put in Anderson. And I believe just these 3 players, mate, would give us a bit of a lift and take it up slightly. You bring in a right back alongside that. You'll bring a manager in. If Anderson wants to play in a back 3, I'd play Rodon and Tanganga. Just get them in, just put them in. Put in the youngsters. We've got a great left back in Sirkin. Absolutely great. He's had a few injury problems, but I believe it's going to be absolutely awesome. Skip's coming back. Skip and Højbjerg. Højbjerg's been one of the players of the tournament. 4 assists. Was it 4 key passes, 3 assists in 4 games or something like that? He's put more assists in than what he has done in 30-odd games for Spurs. We need a right attacking. And there's so many players in the Euros at the moment that I look at and I think, they're achievable. Players from the likes of Atlanta, Inter Milan, who are going through a phase. We just need to do it right. Paratici, he's so. I don't think we've ever had eyes on a director of football ever the way we have eyes on Paratici, and he's probably going to feel the pressure. And if he can't work the way he wants under Daniel Levy, I think he will leave before he's actually announced. Something's going to break down. Ali Gold's going to be, and Matt Hayes are going to be, or Romano. They're all going to come out and say, right, it's something's happened, personal issues have arisen, and he's gone, and he'll go to Arsenal or somewhere and buy all the quality players possible. This is what the Levy effect has done on me, mate. Just no confidence in any of them, in anything with regards to my football team.
But
Piss off.
Matt
Piss off,
Hayes says you look different today, Cody. Cody would be with us, all three of us on today, but he's having internet issues. Apparently, he's got about like 0.38 megabytes per second bandwidth right now. So
Is that better, Coach?
that works. There we go. And then I can put this back up there. It's close enough. You've got the glasses.
I need the beard, don't I? Hold on.
Bigger beard than the one you have. You've got a beard for sure. But he is bald. He is bearded. So he fits the bill with the glasses. It even matches the thumbnail there.
Yeah.
But for folks too that are watching the show, if this is your first time watching the show, make sure you do like the video. Give us a like on the video. It really does help the channel. The videos go out to new people. And if this is your first time watching the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. I was looking at some analytics last night, and about 50% of the people who watched the video aren't subscribed to the channel. So make sure and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us out. I mean, if you're watching it, why not? Why not hit that subscribe? And Bob Spur as well. There you go.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
TV.
I was like, what's the Spanish for that? But yes, if you don't know, this is Bob from Bob Spur TV, or Bobby. Robert. Do people call you Robert? Is that your real name?
Yeah, they call me Robert over the phone, then they come and see me, and they're like, "Oh, right, you're not a Robert, you're more of a Robjit."
Because here in America, sometimes people are Roberts that are Bobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are just Bobs that are Bobs.
Yeah. No. In the UK, Bobby's a Rob, Bob, and Richard's a Dix.
Yeah. And Williams are Bills, but I don't go by Bill. I go by Will.
No.
My dad, his name is Bill. It's not my name.
Why's Cody got a girl's name?
Cody is not a girl's name here.
Isn't it? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's very rare. Like it could be a nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
But Cody here is more of a masculine name.
Oh, is it? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Just Cody, it just sounds a bit girly.
And usually with the girls, it's spelled with an IE.
IE, that's it. Yeah. Cody.
For some reason. Yeah. Like even like with Billy, sometimes Billy can be a girl's name.
Yeah.
But it's IE. It's spelled with an IE.
Just sounds a bit girly, that's all I'm saying.
Ginty says he calls you Robert during your pillow talk.
Yeah.
And Bob Diesel.
Bob Diesel, yes, mate. Hold on. There we go. Sorted. Big up Bob Diesel.
And is that is that a guy who wants to be you? Or is he different Bob Diesel?
I don't know.
You're popular, man. You got somebody who's making an account for you.
What?
Bob
Diesel, good lad.
So Bob is saying that he lives in a country where Courtney and Ashley are boys' names. There are some boys here. It's very rare here to be Ashley and Courtney and be a man. It does happen. I have had friends who are named Courtney. And I've known people who are Ashley that are guys here, but it's very, 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 very rare. And if you happen to be one of those boys, you tend to go by your middle name if it's something other than Courtney or Ashley, simply because of the fact of the amount of stick that you catch from kids at school. So,
trying to think what's the most girly man name and the most manly girl name. Guys in the comments, come on, man, you can do this. The most manly girl name and the most girly man name. I'm sticking with Cody.
I would say Aiden. is probably the most manly girl name because there are girls named Aiden, but the majority I would say is boys.
Yeah.
Like my middle son's name is Aiden.
Aiden, yeah. Yeah. I can't think of any. Vin? No, that's there's not many girls called Vin, is there? No,
Danny.
Danny, yeah. Danny's a bit of both. Spelled differently. Yeah,
Danny would be one. What's Cuthbert? Is that an actual name? The butt cheeks and facts and stats. Thanks for that.
Isn't that Scottish?
I've never heard of that name before. You have to ask Genty on that one. I'm only here. My heritage is Scottish, but I don't have any of.
What's Genty's real name?
I have no idea.
It's what was it? I think it's. Oh, I can't remember now. I think it's Mario.
Orig.
Oh, never mind.
Aaron.
Anyway,
Aaron is one. Some girls named Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah. It could be. Hey, some people might say Bobby, Kelly, and Sandy.
There's some girls named Bobby.
Yeah, there's. The reason I'm named, my real name's Arvinder, believe it or not. Yeah. When in '73, when I was born, there was a Bollywood film came out called Bobby, and my father went to watch it with his friends, and in there's a Bollywood actor, female actor, and her name was Bobby, and she had a dimple in her chin. I'm covered mine with hair. But he was like, oh, a dimple in the chin, just like my little Arvinder. And he got home, and he was a bit wasted, and he goes, you look like Bobby, that girl from that film. And I've been called Bobby ever since. So I'm named after a famous Bollywood actress with a dimple in her chin called Bobby.
There you go.
I'm
named after, I'm the third.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The third Will.
Yeah. William Bow Stewart the third.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we have had my family came over to the U.S. in the 1700s, and they're Covenanters, and like I've said this 100 times, I think, but my mother was the first. My mother and then my wife as well, obviously, but were the first women married into the family who didn't have a Scottish surname. So my DNA is fairly pure. From the Scottish side of things, but we also kept the naming ritual, which is the middle. So you have old Scottish naming rituals where the child's middle name was like your mother's either father's name or then also the maiden name or your mother's name. So your firstborns tended to follow a more masculine family trend, and then lower down. So my grandfather was the third born, and so his name, my grandmother's name is Wilma, and her maiden name was Bow. And so his name was William Bow Stewart, and then my dad was William Bow Stewart.
Does it carry down to Paul or not?
No, I kind of broke that for some other reasons. There's some trends happening in the maternal line or in the paternal line that I wanted to try to nix.
Right.
But we do have
frowned upon for stopping it.
My dad, I wouldn't. You probably could say he probably wasn't the happiest. But he's cool with it now. But then like my youngest son. My middle son, he's kind of named. I have a grandfather and a brother named Thomas, so his middle name is Thomas. And then, my youngest son, his name is Ewing Stewart. So, and Ewing is a family name. It's obviously a Scottish surname. So,
yeah, well,
yeah. So we have that. Like, I had a great grandfather who was Robert Ewing, and great uncles who are Ewing, first names Ewing and stuff like that. So kind of a family name, but
popular name. Well, not famous name. Ewing, of course. If you're from the Dallas era.
Patrick Ewing.
Bobby Ewing. Hey, Bobby Ewing.
Hey, Bobby Ewing.
Yeah, well, yeah, combination of both. England obviously kicking off. The fact that they've qualified or finishing by guaranteed finishing in third, for me, has taken a lot off the game. I'm not into it as much as I would have been, which is a bit disappointed with that. Plus the fact if we did finish third, it's a better draw. I think the only thing is if we do finish third or first, the game would be played before Mason Mount can play for us again. Whereas if we finish second, Mason Mount would be available for that game. So I'm not really bothered. I'm not too bothered. Obviously, it's England. Like to see him do well. Obviously, I want Harry Kane to get a goal. But I don't think the result really matters. I think it'll be a board 0-0 today. I think the Czechs need to win it more. They need it more, don't they? So let's wait and see.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got Croatia versus Scotland.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, because I think the winner of that basically gets to go through, right? So
Yeah.
I mean that one's decided because England, even if they ended up finishing third in the table, they would be
Sterling hitting the post 2 minutes in, tried to lob the keeper and it just hit the post. A good ball in from it was Luke Shaw playing it in behind. A nice lob and an inch inside and it would have got us. I'd say Spurs there. Not a Spurs player already. England off to a good start. But yeah, it'd be good to see England put on a really good show. Build some confidence.
Am I watching? No, I'm not watching right at the moment, but we are. I think it's about time that we call it a day because I think everybody wants to watch these matches. I know I do.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to watch it and kind of focus on it. And we've been going about an hour and a half, so that's about normal time for this show. Usually runs about an hour and a half to 2 hours. But Mr. Bob, tell people where they can find you and
Bob Spur TV. I might do a stream for a reaction video to today's game later on, depends how I feel. If I do, of course, I'll be on Twitter and YouTube, letting you guys know. I'll decide within the next half an hour, 45 minutes. But yeah, Bob Spur TV, doing shows based on all things Spurs, all things football, bit of a chilled out vibe. Anything goes. If I told you the last stream, I did half of it in just my underpants, probably tell you what kind of streams are available. But there is some intellectual conversation that goes on as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, so we got Bob Spur underpants, right?
Yeah, so yeah, what's underpants here?
So you need to make a jingle for you. That's the SpongeBob song.
It. Bob Spur SpongeBob. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, do that. And obviously we've got a big show tomorrow, haven't we? With Tottenham away, 9 at 9.
On Thursday night.
No, sorry. No,
it's on Thursday night.
Thursday night, that's it. Thursday night, sorry.
Yep, Thursday night, 9 o'clock, 9 at 9. It'll be over on Tottenham Way. Later tonight at around 11, I think UK time, is the Three Wise Men show. Mr. K, he's going to be talking about. Let me see here. What is Mr. K talking about today? Mr. K's title for today is "To Dare is to Do, Isn't It?" The question mark will be the topic of the Three Wise Men show that's on later tonight.
I'd just like to confirm that I won't be doing the stream because I'll rather watch them. So make sure you tune into the Three Wise Men, and I'll try and see if I can make an appearance on there.
Yeah, so the game ends for you at what, 9, right? Or 10?
No, mate. No, 10. 10, yeah. Yeah, no. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow, day after. Let's see how it goes. I'm working anyway, mate. Aren't I, at the moment, so it's not a biggie. Saturday nights probably be the time. I did one last Saturday and had some really great feedback. So Saturday nights might be the night for me when I'm streaming.
Yeah, just roll on and then roll over to someone else's too. I mean, we always do. Sometimes, look, with as many of us there are out there doing it now, it's impossible to not overlap each other sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably two. I guarantee you somebody's live right now doing a watch along for the England game and other stuff like that because our ratings dropped about in half so as soon as 3 o'clock hit, or 8 o'clock for you guys.
Yeah.
But also tomorrow morning, if Cody's internet participates, we will have the morning THFC show with Cody Mac. That time of the day for him should be a little better if it is a bandwidth issue because it'll be early in the morning, so there won't be that many people out, interneting around. But if not, that's okay. Well, you can reschedule or postpone it to the week after. It's not a big deal. Life happens, and you can only do what you can do. And then we also have, for folks that don't know, my Q&A show on Thursday.
Yeah.
We've got that going on. Also, too, Bob Spurs part of this now too. But Williams Rangers, people that support the channel on Patreon, giving $5 to $10 a month. As well as the memberships, which you can join by hitting the link. I guess it would be that way. In the chat, or maybe it's down here if you're watching on your phone. Go ahead and click that link that is pinned to the top of the chat, and you can become a member of the channel for as little as $4 a month. So helps the channel out, costs less than Netflix, and I hope it's as entertaining.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know too, the super chats thing, there's the thing there as well. I forgot to mention that today, but that's okay. It's not something that I necessarily think about. Phil says, enjoy the debate, Will, as always. Thank you. Hey, I enjoyed too. I'm just giving my opinion. There we go. And look, I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me. People disagreeing with me doesn't put me into a frenzy. In fact, I think it's, I don't lose my cool when people disagree with me. I tend to, I can hold my own, and I think it's good. People who lose their cool when people disagree with them are a little weak.
Well, you fool me, mate.
Yeah. Sorry for boring you guys with that one. But
I hope people know what I'm on about, by the way.
I know. Yeah, that's why I was winking.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that was my, Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching the show. We'll be back next Tuesday, and like I said, later tonight at 11 p.m. UK time. Mr. K will be doing his Three Wise Men show, so make sure to check that out after the England game. And folks, stay strong, stay Spurs.
Come Spurs.
And we will see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.